So now we will enter the question and answer session. So let's get started first by a Slido question, and then we can take question in the room. First one for David Solar. How did you make the eVTOL comparison to an helicopter, so 4 times quieter and 2 times safer?
So as I mentioned, it was an extract from a consultant from Porsche Consulting report. I think they did a survey probably on some of their key stakeholders and general public. So as I said, you can have as many input as a consultant company within this field. Is just to give you a flavor. I do think there are, as I mentioned, on the safety it was 2 times. I'm sure it's much more. But that's to give a flavor. It was not to say it's the exact value. It gives you a flavor of the challenges ahead in terms of environmental footprint, reliability, cost, and safety. I can keep going on. So in defining the safety rating, which factors are you considering? So as I said, there will be probably 2 sets. One for kind of offshore types because they are already quite high on the safety equipment point of view. And for the light helicopters, it would be typically some, for instance, design driver, fuel tank crashworthiness, yes, no, seat crashworthiness, yes, no, autopilot, yes, no, 3-axis, yes, no, 2-axis, yes, no, 4-axis, emergency autopilot, if we have someday. I see Garmin in the room here, but also other avionics. This kind of things, recorder, yes, no, this kind of black and white aspects at the very beginning. And then we could expand, obviously, within industry, because the objective of such a rating is not to be static. It's really to be a living rating. And by the way, if you take, we speak about stars, you can be 5 stars in 2020 and becoming a 3-star in 2025 because the market has evolved. Like exactly that's what is done in the car industry. That's general, but then we need to be more detailed. But at least we have a set of criteria which are black and white that could be fairly easy. After, we could have more subjective ones, but these ones are more debatable.
Next one is on the
So it seems that EASA and FAA are planning to take completely different ways for VTOL certification. Is it true? Why do we have so poor coordination? So I am very pleased to see the FAA way. If they take the 17B approach, it could be fully harmonized. Thanks to work with George. And that's already a very positive move. On the coordination, we need to be better. And maybe, George, you want to add something?
Yes.
Sorry. I need.
Is this working? Okay. Me and David talk every day. So we do talk a lot. We are aware of what EASA is doing. When EASA put the special condition for comments, we did provide a lot of comments to EASA. However, there are challenges within the FAA. We have to do a lot of coordination with flight standards. And right now the focus is to make sure that we understand how we are going to address all these challenges. But we do share notes with each other. So we are cognizant of the potential paths that are there. And there is a goal to engage in more formal discussions. But that hasn't occurred at every level within the FAA because of the challenges that we currently have to make sure we have our path clear within the FAA as EASA continues to work on their path. But we are keeping information flow between the two authorities. With the reorganization within the FAA also, there is a challenge to make sure that the individuals that are engaged right now with EASA will continue to engage as we go through our reorganization. So I am very optimistic because we do have a lot of discussions, at least at my level and at our very top level. and we're now working to figure out how best to undertake a more formal collaboration with both authorities, and not just us and EASA, but also our other bilateral partners. So hopefully next year when we're here, we're going to be talking more about our collaboration outcomes for eVTOL and some of the other policies that we're working or EASA is working on.
Yes, I can only join. We've shared everything with the FAA. We had some talks. Now we need to bring into the next level. Hopefully, in the next couple of years, we are much more closer together, all aware through the different organizations.
So I see a lot of questions on VTOL, eVTOL, but you know we'll have a dedicated session with about 10 technical presentations on the different aspects of the VTOL certification. So we may cover some or part of your question during these sessions. I think we can take one or two additional questions, and then it will be the first coffee break. Question about presentations. Yes, all the presentations that you see on screen will be made available on the EASA website this afternoon. So you can just download them, and we will also upload, I think tonight, the presentation of tomorrow. So you can have a quick look if you want to get prepared.
Yes. On the point on EUROCAE EASA activity, I'm glad to say that the FAA joined EUROCAE recently. So it's really a very positive step, and I would like to thank the FAA for that. So it's getting closer together, and that's a very positive sign. So the next questions on the IMC GM S2S eVTOL, I think the next sessions will be dedicated to that, so maybe you will have some other questions at the end. How to build the benchmark about the administrative burden issue will address the fact that it is mostly impacted the implementation by the regs, by national CA. That's a very valid point. And actually, what we would like to organize next year, taking the opportunity of the new format of the event, is to gather all authority inspectors in one place during real sessions, sharing the best practices, and getting out of this event with a common understanding on key points that are pain points within your system. Really, that's really something you would like. We have also set up a new group within the Rotorcraft expert group, which is with our colleague from Flight Standards, enabling more coordination within the national authorities and within the expertise around the world. So that's a point that is fully on our radar, and we plan to tackle it in a more proactive, active manner, collaborative manner already.
Yes. So to complement this, we had the kickoff meeting yesterday with the company that will contact operators on our behalf to discuss administrative burden. They are in the room today, so they may take also the coffee break to come and discuss, initiate contact with some of the operators in the room. So I think we can break now for a coffee. Please come back at 11:05 in this room so that we can start on time for the next session. Thank you very much.